WQAD News 8, this is WQAD This Week.
Good morning. It's Sunday, August 6th. Thank you for joining us for News 8 This Week. I'm John Diaz. This summer, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker announced the state broke hotel revenue records. Now, during the 2023 fiscal year, people spent about $308 million on lodging. That beats the previous record by about $12 million. The governor also touted the $44 billion spent by some 111 million visitors to the state in 2022. The state says that's a good thing.
Tourism means more jobs for hotel and hospitality and recreation workers, good paying jobs with health insurance. More tourism means millions of new visitors exploring all the amazing things that our state and city have to offer, supporting small businesses and local economies along the way.
But according to one local hotel operator, these numbers need some context. This week, we spoke with Rupal Patel, who runs a hotel in East Moline, about how our area is experiencing this apparent tourism boost. Joining us now is Rupal Patel. Rupal, thank you so much for taking the time this week to talk with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'd like to start, before we dive into some of the financial numbers, I'd like to maybe if you could paint us a picture of what you have seen. You've been in the hotel business certainly very actively for the past several years, but it's a family business. Can you tell us about what you've seen in terms of the number of people who have visited, and particularly the last 12 months, and what is bringing those folks to the Quad Cities?
Lot of it is to do with projects that are happening around here. Golf, for us at least, the golf has been a big thing. Also, John Deere headquarters opening up is another big revenue generator in this area. Tyson. I would say a lot of people have started reinvesting into their business, and that's what is bringing a lot of people.
And is that a little bit different than maybe what you've seen, what you were seeing 5 years ago?
I think it's pretty much the same since 5 years ago. I think last 2-3 years people had paused because of COVID. But now again, like because of that pause, people are investing a lot more, and that's why we see a lot of traffic in our area.
The governor, as we discussed before our interview started, put out these numbers about some record-breaking revenue in the state of Illinois for hotels in particular, as far as how many dollars were spent. But there's a little bit of context there that I think is important for folks to understand. How do you see that in sort of your day-to-day operation? Is that all that it's kind of hyped up to be, or are there some kind of mitigating factors there?
I would think that the revenue is definitely going to be up. And I think the statement that the governor made was in reference to 2019, I assume, which was one of the best years for hospitality. But the thing to understand is, even though the numbers are very high, and they will keep on going high, is because the rate of the average daily rate of the hotels has increased due to operational increase in the rates.
So let's answer the first question here is what are some of those operational increases that you have seen, and have all of those been necessarily voluntary, or is that just kind of other things driving those economic costs?
Sure. For hotel business, the biggest expenditure for a hotel is employees. And since 2019, when our minimum wage was 8.25 to right now, which is 13, and going on to 15 in next 2 years, our expenses have kept on increasing, and that has a domino effect on everything. Cost of employment, cost of food, cost of electricity, everything is going to creep up. And that's the reason we have to increase our rates. So even though you would see that the number of rooms we sold in 2018 or 2019 might be similar to what we have right now. The rates are higher, and that does not automatically mean we are making profits. It's just that we are increasing our rates. I wish the rate increase was in same equation to expenditure for the hotels, but unfortunately it's not. We'll need a lot more time to catch up with that.
I imagine at the end of the day, the best thing for communities or hotel operators, whoever it may be, to see is to see more people visiting a particular area, because that's going to drive kind of the economy for everyone if those folks are spending money. Anything in particular trend wise that you're seeing that you like, or anything that you think you'd like to see more of that would kind of lead us down that path?
I think Visit Quad Cities is already doing wonderful job by having more, events in the city that would bring people here. I think one of the things that COVID has, what do you say, has launched a new trend is people getting out on smaller visits, um, taking break where you're driving instead of flying, and of course the airline disruption in airline will also help with that. So I'm hoping that with the help of Visit Quad Cities and the events that are happening around us, that we will have more tourism, with all the states and the federal government spending more, or budgeting more money towards building infrastructure. There will be more work going on. And I think that should help. If it keeps on going in that direction, it will definitely help hotels stand up again.
Yeah, and the Quad City is certainly a little gem, and the communities that surround it as well.
Right.
Certainly worth visiting, even for locals.
Yes.
Rupal Patel, thank you so much for taking the time this week to talk with us.
Thank you.